There are a few games that completely pull you into their world within minutes, and Ghost of Tsushima did just that for me. The moment I stepped onto the battlefield, surrounded by the stunning landscapes of feudal Japan, I was hooked. The game opens with the Mongol invasion of Tsushima, an intense battle that sets the stage for Jin Sakai's journey. The colours, the lighting, the cinematic framing, it all felt like I was playing inside a beautifully crafted film. The opening sequence was gripping, making me immediately invested in the story, and before I knew it, I was Jin Sakai. I went into Ghost of Tsushima with no major expectations. I knew it was an open world action game, but I didn't anticipate how much it would exceed everything I thought it could be. The narrative pulled me in, the visuals felt like moving paintings, and the combat was both fluid and satisfying. I found myself caring deeply about Jin and the people of Tsushima, which is a rare feat for an action-heavy game. Ghost of Tsushima was developed by Sucker Punch Productions, which was initially released as a PlayStation 4 exclusive and then was later received enhancements for PlayStation 5. It runs at a smooth 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 and it has improved load times, high resolution, and dynamic feather effects that enhance the immersion. If you've played games like Marvel's Spider-Man, you'll feel right at home with Ghost of Tsushima's combat. It's intuitive, but it also rewards skill and mastery. The game features 4 combat stances: the stone, water, wind, and moon, each tailored to counter specific enemy types. Parrying and dodging are key to success, as with most combat in these types of games. If you're new to action games, there's an easy mode to help ease into it, while the lethal difficulty mode offers a true test of skill. The game also features a Kurosawa mode, a black and white filter with a grainy film effect, which pays homage to the classic samurai films. I didn't play in this mode because the colours were so visually stunning that I couldn't bring myself to switch, but I definitely want to try experiencing the game this way on a future playthrough. Additionally, the Legends multiplayer mode adds co-op missions and survival-based challenges for players who are looking for an extra layer of depth beyond the main campaign. I've never played the Legends multiplayer, but I have heard that enhances the base game with a cooperative multiplayer mode which features story missions, survival challenges, and raids. There's also a diverse class system: the Samurai, Hunter, Ronin, and Assassin, which actually encourages strategic play and teamwork. However, the mode is heavily team focused, which apparently makes solo play difficult, and its separate progression system means that rewards don't carry over to the main game. So while it offers a fresh take on Tsushima's world with mythological elements, it may not appeal to more casual players. I'd love to hear from anyone who has actually played the Legends multiplayer mode in the comments. I'm genuinely interested in whether it's worth trying. The balance of action, stealth, and exploration was solid, but no game is perfect. I do wish the exploration had a bit more substance, so more hidden treasures or collectibles with practical uses would have added an extra layer of excitement. I also did run into a few frustrating mechanics. So for example, there was jumping from surfaces like rocks to branches, which felt inconsistent and clunky. Navigating villages to find key locations could also be confusing, and the icons for armorers, trappers, and swordsmiths were greyed out, making them hard to spot. But these are quite minor in relation to the entire game. The controls in Ghost of Tsushima are fluid and responsive, making combat feel intuitive and cinematic. As the players can switch between 4 different stances: stone, water, wind, and moon, which I mentioned before. Jin wields a katana as his primary weapon, but he also has access to a variety of tools and ranged options, including the half bow and longbow, the kunai, smoke bombs, sticky bombs, and a blowgun. As Jin embraces the ghost persona, he also gains access to these supernatural-like abilities, for example, chain assassinations, the ghost stance, which actually lets him execute enemies in quick succession, and fear tactics, which cause enemies to flee in terror. Mastering those tools and abilities allows us players to approach combat in multiple ways, from honorable samurai duels to stealth-based takedowns that embody the ghost's philosophy. The aesthetic of Ghost of Tsushima is simply breathtaking. The way the light filters through the trees, the atmospheric fog in the villages, the stunning sunsets, it all felt incredibly immersive. The world is dynamic, with a changing weather system that reacts to Jin's choices, so the stormy conditions that appear when he leans into the ghost persona, whilst the sunny days reflect the honourable samurai actions. I especially love the streets at night. the warm glow from inside the buildings, and the sense of life in every frame. The game even inspired me to dive deeper into Japanese history, particularly the way of the samurai. I remember wanting to read Hagakure, the Book of Samurai, after playing. Jin Sakai is the kind of protagonist you want to root for. He's honourable, compassionate, and embodies the samurai spirit in a way that makes you feel connected to his journey. The themes of honour, loyalty, and personal conflict resonated deeply. What does it mean to be a samurai? What happens when tradition clashes with necessity? Those questions kept me engaged throughout the game. It reminded me of The Last Samurai, a film that left me with a similar bittersweet feeling about the loss of samurai culture. It made me wonder, do these values still exist within families in Japan, and are there parallels in other cultures? One character that stood out to me was Yuna, a skilled thief who helps Jin throughout his journey. She is driven by her brother's tragic fate, which made her a strong but vulnerable character. Because of the character's determination and resilience, it made her a compelling ally, and I remember genuinely wanting to help her. This just shows how invested I was in the character, which can be rare in games where the focus is normally on the gameplay and the environment. I found the game tranquil, intense, and bittersweet. The combat sequences were intense, and the story carries a sense of sorrow and loss, but there are moments of complete tranquility, whether it's watching the leaves fall or composing a haiku by the river. This emotional range is what makes Ghost of Tsushima such a memorable experience. In conclusion, I think Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best games I've played, not just for its gameplay, but for the way it made me feel. It provided a glimpse into samurai culture, even if it wasn't historically factual. I'd absolutely recommend it, especially for those who love immersive storytelling and thought provoking themes. However, if you're not a fan of open world games, it might not satisfy your gaming needs, as it does follow many familiar formulas. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thank you for watching.